Hello. If you're seeing this, you're watching the playback. But I'm about to do my hair and some makeup and then put on some clothes. I don't know why my light is giving this like cast. See if adding another light helps. Not particularly. Well, anywho, I'm gonna curl my hair with a flat iron today because that's the softness I want to go for. But first, we need to put it into clips. Okay. Yeah, I was just pulling it up over here on my laptop so I can see the chat because the chat on here is unreliable. Hi. I can see there's a number there. Someone has come in. Hello, how are you today? Got to separate my hair into sections. I often do these on my Facebook page, but figured we haven't done one over here in a while, so might as well come over here and hang out. Well, I just dropped that one. Got it. Hi. I see a second and third person. Hello, welcome. I'm just getting my hair separated into sections so that I can do these curls. We already washed and blow dried. If you guys blow dry your hair, you may know that it causes a lot of tangles on the ends where it slaps it all together. That's not very fun. I had to gently brush those out. Wow, 11 people in here suddenly. Hello, welcome. Crispy. Oh, thank y'all. Which ones are your favorites? I've had them all for ages. I used to have one here, but they're notorious for migrating, and so it was pushing out. I had to take it out. All right. Ouch. There we go. Let's plug this baby in and get it hot. I do. See, Vern Ramos. Is that right? My tongue ring was actually the first one that I got when I was 18 years old. That was quite a while ago. Hi, welcome. It's a Kiwi K12. Ryder Sanchez, welcome. As far as hurt, I would say it wasn't painless, but it's not the same as like biting your tongue because in the middle there's not a bunch of nerves. What I can tell you though is you could hear it. That is something that you never expect. And so, like, because it's in here, what it sounded like, if you imagine getting like a kitchen sponge and ripping it, that's what it sounded like. And it was super gross. But the pain was not the worst of it. I'm not super great at pain anyway. I'm a big old baby. But it was all right. You know what? This is my old flat iron. When I got it out of the closet, I knew something was sus. And now I'm like, why are the buttons in a weird place? That means my daughter has taken my other flat iron, and that's why it wasn't where this one is. Wow, I'm not going to go hunt it down. I guess we'll just use this one. Trifling heifer. Gotta refamiliarize. Alright, well, let's let that get hot. I think that one's just slower. I tell you though, these right here, these were the most painful piercing. I would not recommend that. I almost stopped after one because it was so terrible. But I couldn't just have one. That would be weird. Though you'll notice I don't have an even amount of earrings over here. There used to be one here, but then it got infected, so I had to take it out, and now it's not there. You don't want Cynthia? Yeah, I don't recommend those. Adobe Acrobat. Hello, Jess. Do I like magnets? What kind of magnets are we talking? Nail magnets? Because, yeah, I got a bunch. They're readily available. Yeah, looks like the chat is still working for now. Is this hot yet? I don't see the little thing moving anymore. The screen's not as bright as the other one. It feels hot. I can smell it, so yeah. Do you guys like Celsius? It's a lot of caffeine in here. It's not good for you. But I like it. All right. Let's get cracking. All right. So, if you guys recall when you were children and you would make a ribbon and run it along scissors, this is the same technique. That's how you make curling iron or flat iron curls. Just twist and run it. And it just makes it like that. Now you want to give it time to cool before you go to separating it though. Dang, did everybody jump out of here? Thanks, guys. Thank you, whoever hit the like button. I appreciate that. The algorithm also does. Definitely helps. If you guys are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. I don't do a whole lot of live streams, and I don't do much long form here on this channel, but I do short form content, reels, or I guess they're called shorts over here. So those are there. I do all kinds of different stuff. So sometimes it's clothes, sometimes it's makeup, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's money. It's just whatever. But there's probably going to be something that you're interested in. I need to do this one in the back again because I didn't do a very good job. And if you're into nails, I do have my nail channel. Pretty sure there's a link in the bio. That's where most of my content is. I am a nail tuber predominantly, but not everything needed to go on the nail channel, so we have Megan Makes It. Where what does Megan make? All kinds of stuff. Hello, welcome. I see there's someone in here. How are you? Make sure when you're curling your hair, you're alternating directions of the curls so they don't just all wrap into one mega curl. Hello, welcome in. Just working on these curls. So before I do this, I put curling cream, thickening cream, and smoothing serum in my hair while it was wet. That way these curls will hold and also have a little bit of texture. My hair is silky by nature, and so it typically just slides out, and it's very fine, so it doesn't hold curls very well. So you gotta use a little bit of product. In fact, once these curls get a little bit of cooling time, I'm gonna give them a quick blast of hairspray, which takes away a little bit of the silkiness, but it can help the curls stay in. That's just what we gotta do when we don't have hair that will stand on its own. All right, let's do another section and then we'll let it cool and separate them. I try and do them in medium, small sections so that all the hairs get hot and curl, but then they still need to be separated into 2 or 3 individual pieces. Gives you more volume like that. Doing the back is so hard because you can't really see what you're doing. I'm gonna hold this up so I can look behind it. Got a mirror over here. Hi, how are you? Don't be afraid to say hi. Come in and chat. That's what we're here for. Hello. Hi, hello. Welcome in. Say hi in the chat. Okay. All right, we need to let that side cool a little bit before we separate them and give them a little spray. So what's everybody doing today? I'm just getting myself together. Normally, I would be at work right now, but I am on time off, and I do have some projects to work on later. So, get ready, and then you'll be ready. Stay ready, and you ain't gotta get ready. But I just had to wash my hair, so it needs shaping. Alright, these are cool now. If you stretch them out too soon, pulls your curls out. So I'm just going to, a few times, not a bunch, just run my fingers between here so it separates them a little bit, but not too much, because if you do this too many times, you're just gonna make frizz. So that's plenty. And then I'm just gonna give it the lightest of spray. We don't need a whole bunch because we're just trying to set it in place. Hi Johnny, how are you? Are you here for the hair content or the Megan content? Let me know. After hair, there's gonna be makeup. And then I've got an outfit. I am very well. It's a good day so far. Nothing crazy going on, but I do have some fun activities planned. I've got to paint my right hand. I took the paint off of here earlier because I want to do something different. I'm getting a couple of nail mails today, and one of them is a nail polish collection that I won from a brand that I like, and so I want to use them. Once that comes in, that'll be fun. And then later after that, I am going to assist another YouTuber friend with some production. He's teaching me the board, like where you control cameras and sounds and stuff, because I don't know how to do that stuff. I've been figuring YouTube out just on my own, but now that I know someone else who does YouTube and they are much more professional at it, this is an opportunity for me to gain knowledge. So I'm like, sign me up, I'll be your intern. So I'm gonna go learn that today. God damn it, I just burned my hand. That was stupid. Don't do that. Made me drop my curl a little bit, so now it's kind of straight. You see it? It didn't even curl down there. You gotta be careful. Yeah, it happens. Welcome in, mystery lover. One time, I burned my hand with a really skinny curling iron. Let's see. Actually, you can kind of still see it. Like right here, it's slightly darker. That was years ago, probably like 10. It used to be much darker, but like sometimes you get some crazy burns. Now when I use a curling iron, I wear a heat glove to reduce that happening. And then like sticking them to your ear about right here, that's a huge problem. It happens. Hot tools are not for the careless. Got to be careful. Try and look in the mirror, but sometimes you can't hardly see what you're doing. Oop. I thought I accidentally turned it off, but it didn't. I guess you gotta hold it down, so that's good. What are you up to today, Mystery? What's on your agenda? I don't know who's still here. It doesn't tell me. So, chat is the only way I can do. There we go. That's looking good so far. I like doing flat iron curls because they give you these soft, loose ones. Sometimes I do curling iron curls, and sometimes I do like a big rod. Sometimes I do a really small rod. It just depends on the vibe that I'm going for. But today I felt like soft, loose curls, it's more of a casual style, was the right move. Got a little sweater type outfit. It's a matching. It's got like a shirt and some pants in there. I would say suburban casual would be the vibe. So that's what we're going for. I don't even know if anybody's still here. But if you are, thanks for hanging around. Definitely hit the like button. It helps. It really does. The algorithm pushes content out to people based on the interaction that it gets from people. So the more interaction, the more opportunity it has. If you haven't watched any of my reels, I would definitely recommend after you get done here. There's all kinds of stuff, and so chances are there's content that you'll be interested in. Plus, it's a way to get to know a little bit more about me. Besides asking questions, you can always ask me questions. I almost missed that hair. My little burnt spot is shiny. Skin is weird. When you burn it, it gets smooth and shiny. That's probably going to take a while to grow off. Alright, let's let that cool a smidgen. Got these little short hairs here, my little horns. Hi, welcome in. I can see there is a number. I have no idea who it is, though. It doesn't tell me that much. Say hi. So I know it's you, whoever you may be. Ugh, that one is not very curly. It's probably the one that I burnt my finger. Alright, gotta work on this back section. Hi, welcome. I can see there are 2 people in here. Or at least there were at some point. Sometimes that number's not right. I think this might be too big of a section. It's hard to work in this part because I can't see what I'm doing. We'll just try and go extra slow with it. There we go. I got some curl. Let that cool a smidgen. You can talk to me. I talk back. Alright, let's separate those a little bit. It's good so far. We just got this section left, which I'll have to separate into a couple smaller sections. Say hi if you're here. Ooh, this is a weird curl. Can't see what I'm doing. Sit. Curling iron. What the heck? Look at that. See that, Carl? Why? Dang. This iron don't want to sit flat for some reason. Why did you curl this way? That's nonsense. Again. Hopefully that one looks nice. I cannot tell because it's in the back. Yeah, we'll get those situated after we get this last one in. Okay. Gotta let that cool for a second. And then I can run my fingers through them and get them situated. I did a really weird thing. I need these to loosen up because they're kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to give those a little bit more assistance once I get this front section done because I'm going to have to put my part where it belongs. Now these, I am going to make them kind of all go the same direction so that hopefully we can get like a smooth top. Hi, Marissa. How are you today? Thanks for coming in. We've almost finished the hair. All right, one more piece. These little hairs are gonna be a problem, I can tell. There we go. Let me turn this thing off so it can start cooling. There we go. All right. Just gonna give that a second, and then I'm gonna try and get all of this situated to where it looks all right. I imagine it's boring to come in here and not talk about anything. But what's a girl to do when no one wants to talk to you? All right, let's get this set. That's okay, I think, right? What do you think? Does it look all right? It's hard to tell because the lighting in this mirror is pretty terrible, but I think that looks okay. All right. Well, thank you. Rainy clouds, welcome. Thank you for talking to me. It is time to do the makeup. So I need to get the makeup. But I need to put this somewhere else so I won't get burned. 1 second. I feel like there's a way. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Ah, there we go. One sec. I'm still here. The live is still going. You just can't see because I'm walking around gathering up supplies out this makeup cabinet. Okay, I'm back. I've got all these things. Stay there. Just getting it all set out. Okay. So, I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. It's mostly just eyes. But I use these. These are eyeshadow guides. Because I cannot make a wing, but I can simulate one. So this is a hack, if you don't know. Look at my eyeshadow primer. I have a new one, but I just keep trying to squeeze the last little life out of this one. So that's what we'll be doing. Scrolling on the homepage. Well, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I came to hang out while I do this before I get into my daily activities. Probably gonna have to open another one of these soon because it makes me really work for it. But there's like, it's in there. And this stuff ain't cheap. So eyeshadow primer helps your color stick so it stays better and you can see it better. So I definitely recommend using it. Oop. Literal Cyborg. Hi. Fun story. So, when my daughter was little, I had her convinced that I was a cyborg. And I told her that the evidence is because I've got all this metal. You know, these are cyborg parts. And she couldn't prove otherwise that I wasn't. And so, like, it just went on for ages as the standard understanding. We both know that I'm a cyborg. And she was okay with that. But then I had a friend who was not okay with that being a lie. And so he was always trying to expose me and tell her I'm not. And eventually she figured it out, which ruined my fun. Yeah, Madam. I am Adam. Yes, that was what I told her. And it was hilarious to me because really, what's the point of having children if not to troll them? You gotta get your jollies where you can, right? Okay, Now we'll put these on. I'm going to try and put them on straight. And I'm going to look real stupid while I have them on. But this is how it works, the process. So I'm going to look in the mirror. It's right there. Trying not to get my hair stuck in it. That's okay. Right? I thought it was hilarious. You gotta lie to your kids about crazy stuff to give them an interesting childhood memories. I also convinced her that the boogeyman was real because I had a different friend who had like a circular scar somewhere on his chest. I don't remember where. But we told her that that was from the boogeyman claw where he got stabbed because his daughter was misbehaving and the boogeyman came to take her. And so he had to fight the boogeyman to save her and to convince the boogeyman to give her another chance to be well behaved so he wouldn't have to come back. And so the scar was the battle wound. And not only that, but if you were bad, we could call the boogeyman on his boogie phone number and tell him. And the boogeyman lives in Boogie Land, obviously. And that's where you take these bad kids to have to go live when they are not well behaved. So luckily she was just a well behaved kid anyway. I am so unhappy with this curl that's not curly. It's just like frazzled. I don't like that. I wonder if I can make it go inside. It's better. But yeah. Maybe it is. But she was a good kid. And eventually she figured out that was a lie too. I know when I was a young person, somebody told me about the spanking man. And so that was what they would tell children about. Like if you were bad in public, the spanking man would come and he was there to spank you. So if you see a stranger who's coming, be like, look, there he is. And then suddenly they just start acting right. Well, yeah, because scaring your kids into behaving is more effective often than having to smack them up. And when they're small, their comprehension is limited. Like, yes, you can talk to them, but sometimes they don't understand that you should behave for the sake of behaving. All right, let's put some makeup on. Let's not talk about that. This is the brush number one. So I always put on the black wing first because it goes on the bottom. So we're going to try and make it even. When you were a kid, or if you have kids, what was the scare tactic? What stories did people tell you, or what stories do you like to tell your kids? Like, I didn't know about Krampus until I was an adult, but that's an interesting one. You ever noticed how if you give the stink eye to random children at restaurants, they straighten up? Whereas they'll be like climbing all over the place and acting crazy, and their parents are just struggling. I don't know why kids are more afraid to misbehave in front of strangers. It only works when they're little, though, because when they get bigger, they don't care anymore. Here we go. Okie dokie dokie. So my outfit is gray, so we're going to do gray eyeshadow. I got this flat brush that I used to pack that on. Dab, 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 dab. To get a good color. We'll blend it after. Yeah, babies don't listen very well. You know, there is a bit of psychology to do with babies. It's pretty crazy. So, like, babies who are neglected will eventually learn that crying doesn't work and they'll just stop doing it. It stunts them developmentally, of course. And so, the recommendation is even when they're crying and you can't figure out what their problem is, attend to them anyway because they need to develop the trust that someone will come when they call for help. Now we got a little fluffy brush. I'm going to do a little blendy blend. There we go. That's not bad, right? What do you think? It's okay. Yes, definitely don't feel tantrums. Once they're old enough to understand things, that's when you gotta get a lot more diligent about it. I can't be letting no kid act crazy. And that's also where they start to get to where they tantrum more if you're looking. But if you're not looking, they are less motivated. When my daughter was little and she wanted to throw a tantrum, I'd have her go around the corner, the wall where I couldn't see her, and do it over there. And it didn't have much energy. That would die off, and then she'd be done. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to look at that. I get my makeup wipes every single time. I forget them every time. She one time got mad at me. I don't remember what for, because that's not even the important part. And she told me that she would be in her room when I was ready to apologize. And I'm like, okay, you do you, boo. Kids are so funny. They say strange things, but it cracks me up. All right. So we got the top part done. Now we got to do the bottom. So I use eyeshadow as eyeliner because when I do eyeliner, it like runs down these eye cracks out here, and I don't know how to stop that from happening. But eyeshadow doesn't do it as much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That would be very annoying. Yeah, you're not going to terrorize me with self abuse. I'm just going to let you do it over there where I don't have to look at it. And then you'll realize that it sucks. Stop it. How old are you, Rainy? Are you from back in the day, or are you a relatively new human being? I'm right here, but I gotta get all up on the mirror. Or I can just pull it closer, maybe, so you can see me do this weird thing. That's a bit of a thickie, but I can fix it. Let's do the other one. Okay. Turning 18 in May. Ooh, that's exciting. So, you wouldn't have been there, but when I was in like middle school, kids kids always do weird stuff, but they were doing this one weird thing where they would erase their skin. And so like they'd take the eraser on the back of their pencil and just, rub it, and it's abrasive. So it would erase like lines of skin. I don't know why that was like the thing to do. I did not do that because that seems like it would hurt. But yeah, like it was a little epidemic for a while. Kids are strange. Just thinning up my line a little bit. You know, you and my daughter are almost the same age. She'll be 18 in February. I don't think kids these days are as weird as they used to be. And maybe it's because they've got more access to the world. Maybe they're just busier with things. I don't know. But I don't feel like her or her friends are particularly weirdos. The shavings to mix with glue and make clay. Kids are weird. I guess at least it's not self harm, though. That's frowned upon. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe kids are educated at an earlier age. And so, I don't know. Mascara. Can you put on mascara without holding your mouth wide open? I can. I'm going to put my elbow on this table, though, for stability. Pardon me. I got one. What do you think about 6'7"? Apparently, it's like the thing now, and nobody actually knows what it means because everybody thinks it's something different. You do the scream face. I don't know. I guess I've just gotten really good at it. Because I just lean back and then I do it like this and go kind of slow. Try not to blink because then I'll get it all over my face. God, that's what I'm talking about. Look what I did. Dang it. So, the reason that happens is because sometimes you get it too close to your eye and you touch it. And then your natural reaction is to blink. I don't like when that happens because it makes my lashes all spider together. Now I have to clean this mess up. Yes, people will ride it till the wheels fall off. As an old person, though, I've gotten to that stage where I'm not there for the creation of these references. So I often have no idea what they're talking about when I come into contact with it. And then so I have to ask, and the explanations are never super helpful. Get out of here, hair. Okay. I think I got it cleaned up mostly okay. But I need to add some more over here because this one seems like it's gotten too thin comparatively now. Does that look even? Not really. Look at that wing. That one's much better than this one. What the heck? Now I gotta make them semi-even by chopping the end of this one off. There. That's less crazy. Things were actually funny in 2019 to 2023. Were they? I don't know. I was already old by then. It was a bit of a blur of time. This is annoying. It's just like, I need this to do something right. Get in here and hide since you look terrible. It's not real great for your skin. I had problematic skin when I was young. And now I have patchy skin. So like, I guess the camera probably helps even it out, but like you can see it's like splotchy. And I don't usually use foundation anyway because it just gets on everything that you touch. And my face and my hands are not the same color. So like this all has like a red hue, and then ghost. It's bizarre. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to fight with it. But I do eye makeup because when I don't have it, I have beady eyes. And I don't know how to do eyebrows, so I just create shadows. I do the bare minimum. And then sometimes I put on lipstick, sometimes, but it's just gonna come off when you eat things. And it's dry season, so chapstick it is. However, you can learn a lot of really cool makeup stuff on YouTube. That's really where I've learned most of the everything that I know. Plus, it's entertaining to watch, especially people who do really cool makeup. I don't do really cool makeup. I do really cool nails. You don't like it either? Yeah. No. And then, like, when your face gets greasy as the day wears on, it just makes the foundation look even worse. It's not worth it. I don't do blush because my skin is so red. It just makes it more red. So this is kind of the extent of the makeup that I do. And then chapstick. Battle that crust. Bruce, hi. Welcome. We've done hair and we've done makeup. I've got a little outfit that I'm going to put on. I haven't decided what shoes I'm going to put with it. Probably tennis shoes because it doesn't really matter that much. And again, we're going for suburban casual. Let me put it on 1 second. I will just get right there. Here's the getup. Bruce, what are you up to today? What kind of activities have you got planned? There's a hair back here and I can see it. Yeah, it's not backwards. All right. Let me show you the clothes. This shirt always feels so weird because it goes like this. And I'm like, why is it touching my neck? But it's cute. It's just a little like sweatery thing. And there's pockets. I got this outfit on Amazon. Put my little house shoes back on because my feet get cold. All right. Extensions. Are you talking about for your hair? Or your hands? What are we talking about here? Nail extensions? I do nails. If you haven't found my nail channel, it's Secret Devil YT. There should be a link in my profile. But I've got thousands of nail videos. I do really cool nails. Knitting. What do you like to do? What do you do for fun or to relax or to kill time? I paint. So when I'm, not doing this sort of stuff or out and about, which is rare because I don't leave my house, I paint. That's how my time is spent. Besides work, my second largest time commitment is nail content. I do long form, I do short form, I do live streams. Sometimes I just paint by myself. Be getting in here, I turn on a book because I like to listen to books instead of music, and be listening to all kinds of adventure stories and painting my fingernails. And that's the best way to spend time. I would do them. I love doing nails. My daughter, she doesn't care about nails, and I feel like that's very haterade of her. I'm like, let me paint your nails, girl. And she's just, if I get to do anything, it's one color and it's super plain. And if she lets me do extensions, which is rare, she don't want to wear them very long, talking about it's hard. And I'm like, well, you can get used to it. Yeah, it's so much fun for me. Across the world. Where are you from? I am from Oklahoma. India. Nice, nice. I actually have a team of agents. So, like my day job, I work in finance and I am a supervisor. And I have a team of agents who are in India. They are from Vadodara. That is where they live. So we hang out. If I was at work, I would be with them right now. But I'm off. It must be very late there. Yeah. Yeah, because I know it's overnight for them when they actually work. Your daughter's papa is from Oklahoma or from India? 11 p.m. Yeah. About 12 hours difference because it's 11:20 a.m. here. Well, where I live, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's an all right place. The weather's mediocre. I've heard it's supposed to get up to the 70s today. Not today, this week. This week, or today, I think it's only getting in the 60s, but that'll be good because I hate being cold, and I have been cold for a while now. Darn crooked hair. Doesn't want to blend in. There we go. Holly Pond. Is Holly Pond your name? Or is it's a place? Gotcha. What state is that in? I've never heard of it. Alabama. I guess I just assumed it would be warmer there because it's a little further south, but guess not. It can get cold there too. Yeah. I don't know what temperature it is outside right now, but probably not much different than that. Hi, Super Spar. Hello, how are you? You missed all the action. I did the hair and the makeup, and I've got the clothes on. Now we're just talking. Yeah, 58 is pretty cold, and I imagine it gets much colder on colder days. I don't like to be cold. I like to keep my house about 76. That's my happy temperature. And I'm much more tolerant to the heat. So, like, if it's 90 degrees outside, that's fine as long as I'm not in the direct sunlight because I just burst into flames. Yes, the warm is better. 65? That's winter. I would be freezing. I'm cold natured. I've always got on house shoes and got this fuzzy thing here that I put on sometimes. I've got a heated blanket on my bed all year round just in case. Sometimes I actually turn it on. So cold. You must be warm natured. I figure when it comes to the electricity, because of my temperature control, I'm gonna do and pay whatever it is to be comfortable because I deserve it. When I was younger, I was like, no, no, we will hold off on using these things to save on electric. And now I'm just like, no, I will pay it. It's not that dramatic, sort of. Sometimes it's kind of crazy, but I ain't trying to be in here just struggling all day. 34? That's real cold. Where are you? I look 20. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And actually, next month I'll be 39. That's why I got all these forehead wrinkles. And if you get real close, you can kind of see all in here. Minnesota. Okay, I get it. So you probably experience deep snows. We don't have that here. No? Oh, I couldn't. I would never survive. I'm too soft. I do like blankets. I got this robe recently. It's super thick and fuzzy. There's actually a little short about it on my channel. I got it from Temu and it is so warm. I love it. And it's really long. It goes all the way to the floor. Best thing ever. You work outside in that weather. What do you do? We were just talking about 6'7" earlier. Pile driver. Is that something to do with construction? It sounds like it is. Right, Rainy? That's so funny. Deep foundation work. Man, I am always impressed by the stuff that construction workers are able to tolerate because they got y'all out there in all kinds of heinous weather. I'm like, oh, your phone's at 67%. What a quinky dink. Mine's probably at 100 because it's plugged in. Live streams will drain your battery, so I just plug it in. Yep, yep. Okay. Well, you guys, we have done all the things. Least painful piercing. Don't be scared because even if it hurts, it only hurts for a second. And beauty is pain. Stuff is going to happen and it's going to hurt. I think, though, that my least painful is actually this one. Not a lot of nerves in this part of the face. These aren't that bad either, but the healing time is about 6 weeks and you have to wear long bars. So you look like a catfish for a while. And then when you chew, they like to slide in and then you bite them. So they're more of an advanced level piercing. For beginners, belly buttons, tongues, noses, that sort of stuff, those are easier to learn and manage. But then you can get some advanced level stuff. Don't do this to start off. That hurts a lot. Ears hurt a little bit, yeah. They're sensitive, especially the higher up you go. But like we were talking about earlier, this don't recommend. Don't do it. It sucks real bad. And they don't come out. Yeah, you want something that is easy to heal and doesn't require a ton of maintenance. Things in the mouth do require a little additional maintenance because you have to use mouthwash so often. But like this is easily maintained because I just wash my face every day with antibacterial hand soap and it keeps all my piercings in tip-top condition. You want to see my fit, Super? I don't have on shoes, but that's okay because you can't see them. So, this is the outfit. It looks like this. Kind of plain. It's soft, smooth, got pockets. Yeah, I didn't get my first ear piercing until I was 9 years old. And then I didn't get a second until I was a teenager. And then, of course, later, as you can see, it escalated. But I haven't got a new piercing in probably at least 10 years. I've had these all for so long. Thank you. Your daughter is on your phone? You mean like on a phone call? Or like using it in her hand? Oh, who's your daughter? Is she in the chat? Girl, I have 14 tattoos. But you know what you can do when you're an adult? Get tattoos. Jojo. Hi, Jojo. How old is Jojo? 10. Good age. I remember when I had a 10-year-old, but not anymore. Got a little young adult. They grow up so fast. I always say that, but every year passes faster than the previous one, and then the next thing you know, they're just out here doing grown-up stuff, and you're like, that's weird. Pain in the butt. Isn't that her job? Gotta keep you on your toes, keep you young, resilient. That's how you stay youthful looking. Stress. I think I got lucky. I just had a really well behaved kid. You never really do. So the secret is everybody thinks eventually when you grow up, you figure it out. But none of that is true. You just spend the entire time winging it. Like the whole time, you're just still figuring stuff out. And you're always going to need someone who is more adulty. Even when you're 40, you're going to need someone who's more of an adult to tell you how to do things. Oh man, yeah, people age very differently. So like the choices you make with your health will have a dramatic impact. The amount of stress that you live with will have an impact. There are people that I went to high school with who look so much older than me, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all were doing. Stay out the sun. The sun is horrible for your skin. I have always been more of an indoor girl, and when I go outside, I need to be in the shade because of the flames, you know. So I think that's helped me a lot. And then also, weirdly enough, being overweight keeps your skin like smooth longer, which I think that helped me because I used to be fat. Now I've got these. Don't appreciate that. But I do have a really great eye serum that sometimes I remember. JoJo's about to get your phone. Okay. Mmm. Yes. You can't hardly compare real people to celebrities. Not that celebrities aren't real people, but their lifestyles, they're just not the same. They have resources that regular people don't, and they don't go through the same struggles. So they're just not going to look like regular people. Yes, absolutely. I don't follow pop culture a whole lot, but I do see celebrities sometimes, and they get real strange sometimes. And I am glad that is not what regular people do. You're welcome, Bruce. They do. They want to look like that because I think that people believe if they look like celebrities, they'll be treated the same way, and that's just not the case, unfortunately. What's more important is being confident in the person that you are. And if you have the power to change the things that you don't like, then why not do it? Because that just helps you feel better, and feeling better helps you experience life better. Hi, JoJo. Welcome. We've been hanging out. We did some hair, we did some makeup. I put on an outfit, so I'm dressed for the day. And then we've just been hanging out, chatting ever since. Talked about my fingernails that I do on my other channel, all that good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. It's been a good day for me so far. Excellent. Glad to hear it. We're over here talking about celebrities and their lifestyles and what they like to do with their appearances. You're not in school? You shouldn't be. It's holiday break, right? My daughter's on holiday break. Today, for me, after I finish with this, I'm waiting for the mail to run so I can get my package of nail polish. And then I'm probably going to do a live stream on my nail channel and make the swatches and paint this hand. And then later this afternoon, I am going to a YouTube friend's house to assist with a video production. He's teaching me how to work the board that controls the cameras and the sound. So I am learning fancy things later. 3 more days till Christmas. Yes. What do you want for Christmas? Ooh. Did you know? Of course you didn't. Cats are my favorite animal. I love cats. They're so cute. I like dogs. I like all animals, but cats are my favorite. They're so cute. Have you ever heard of a cat cafe? Yours too? Excellent. We have a cat cafe in my city. I haven't been there yet, but I only recently heard about it. And so it's like a coffee shop, but cats live there too. So you can go and you can have your drink and maybe there's a snack, I don't know, and hang out with a bunch of cats. And I think that sounds like a whole lot of fun. You saw one? Do you think you would like something like that? I think I would. You haven't been either? Well, hopefully we will all get a chance to go and pet a whole bunch of cats. Make friends with them. I'll pet anybody. Okay. All right, guys. Well, you have some strays. We have a lot of strays around where I live too. They're always in my driveway setting off the camera. But I don't mind. I try to pet them, but oftentimes they are not friendly enough to pet, so they run away. You've been in the rodeo? What do you do? Do you ride a horse? You're a clown? That seems fun. Do you go out there when the bulls and stuff are out there? Or just friendlier animals probably, huh? No. Do you get in barrels? I've heard that they do that. I've never been to a rodeo. At the beginning. That seems like a lot of fun. I live in a city, so we don't have them here. I know that they exist somewhere in Oklahoma, but I have no idea where. Coleman, is that a city? I'll have to Google it. I have to check it out. I know I went to a monster truck show one time and it was very loud. I did not like that. Like, in theory, they're cool, but it was so noisy it hurt my head. Yeah, so I learned that monster truck shows are not for me. Anywho, guys, we gotta wrap it up and hop off. Thank you so much for coming, though. I have had an excellent time hanging out. Great chat. Glad to have you. Definitely subscribe, and if you see me doing another live, feel free to come on over. And then also check out my nail channel. There's really cool stuff over there, and I do live streams all the time. And then I have social medias as well, but like YouTube's got everything. So that's that. Thanks again for hanging out. Bye, guys.